what are, let's say, the top 3 most common personality disorders that you are seeing are prevalent?
Borderline personality disorder, narcissistic personality disorder,
Okay.
and also from cluster C, obsessive compulsive personality disorder.
What would trigger an individual to come and decide that, okay, get diagnosed or to even know that, okay, I have a personality disorder?
After 18, we start diagnosing,
Perfect.
but before that, we can see signs of it.
From an outcome perspective, are we saying the person can reverse their personality disorders?
हम डॉक्टर के पास तब जाते हैं जब बीमारी हटानी होती है.
Correct.
But therapy works in different way. Personality disorder is something that you are experiencing very early in your life. So the goal of the therapy is to work around that.
Hey everyone, I am Kanika from Mind Peers and we are back for another episode of Beyond the Couch, a place where we put therapists, mental health advocates and thought leaders globally to answer and discuss some very difficult yet hush-hush topics, and we break down these difficult things for you to understand better. In today's episode, I have Shreya, who's a clinical psychologist, and we will be talking about a very popular yet I would say a misunderstood topic, which is personality disorders. And stay tuned for those of you, who always keep confusing bipolar and borderline personality disorders and things like that. Shreya, welcome to Beyond the Couch. Very happy to have you here.
Likewise.
Great. Shreya, let's start with understanding about you first. So tell us, who is Shreya? What do you do? What do you specialize in? And then we'll go from there.
Thank you for having me. I am Shreya Jha and I'm a RCI registered clinical psychologist.
Great.
And I practice psychodynamic psychotherapy.
Okay.
Briefly, I'll explain that
Yes.
just because we'll be bringing that in the future episode.
Yeah.
Like it is an insight-based therapy.
Okay.
Where we work with the earlier experiences of the client. So while we are discussing about personality disorder, it's very early oriented, like it starts in childhood, early ages of a client.
Okay.
So psychodynamic helps us to understand, the past experiences of the client very well.
Okay.
So I practice psychodynamic psychotherapy, and my specialization is personality disorder, trauma-related disorders, anxiety, depression, and even body image issues.
Okay, wonderful. And she takes therapy through Mind Peers as well. And like she mentioned that she's RCI registered clinical psych, right? Great, Shreya. Now let's get into it. Very exciting topic for me because, like when I went through my anxiety, etc., my therapist at that time had linked a lot of things to personality disorder as well. Like you said, stemming from childhood. I won't get into it, but let's now break down the fact what is personality disorder and what are the kinds, and explain it to us from there.
Okay. So before jumping to personality disorder, I think we'll have to understand what is personality itself.
Amazing.
So personality is a pervasive long-term process of building your stable identity or stable sense of, self, that who am I?
Yeah.
Or if I'm describing you, who you are.
Yeah.
So there's a stability in my mind that I'm talking about, right?
Beautiful. Yep.
So we all have certain traits inside of us. Like we can share maybe narcissism, right?
Okay.
But the intensity can differ.
Okay.
So somebody with maladaptive narcissism might be diagnosed as narcissistic disorder.
Okay.
But maybe we all have certain levels of narcissism and we won't call that a disorder.
What is narcissism, Shreya? Just for people who don't know.
So narcissism is, a sense of grandiosity.
Okay.
Right? Highest need for adoration, need for, people wanting to admire us,
Okay.
see us as a highly being.
Okay.
So that is a part of narcissistic.
Okay.
In some way, all of us have that.
Okay.
In some intensity.
Okay.
Right? But when it becomes maladaptive and it kind of pervades all of our life, then we say that now it's maladaptive, rigid, and, pervasive in all of my segments of my life. The career I'm choosing, the relationship I'm choosing.
Okay.
Right? So that way it's rigid and maladaptive to me and the people around me. So that's where we call it a disorder.
Okay. Okay.
So to understand personality disorder, we have to understand the personality as well, that we all come in the dimensionality of those traits. But when those traits become maladaptive, we start calling it personality disorder.
Now that you've said personality is our stable identity, and when it becomes maladaptive, you're saying the personality disorders start to kick in. Am I right in saying that ऐसे तो बहुत सारे हो जाएंगे personality disorders, because we can have a very unique combination of personalities that people could have.
Right.
So how do you classify that, or how does it get categorized?
So scientifically, we do factor analysis as
Okay.
to which all traits, like there are different traits that, people have come up with, like Ocean 5 personality traits or 16 PF traits. Right?
Okay.
So over the period of time, research has been done and there are segregated into different parts.
Okay.
So when we are diagnosing personality disorder, we take two perspectives. One is categorical and one is dimensional.
Okay.
Categorical diagnosis is that, there is a category of it. I am having different trait characters.
Okay.
I am assigning it to a particular
Category.
label
Okay.
or a name. For example, like you must be seeing there is an overlapping between borderline, narcissistic, histrionic
Okay.
disorders.
Okay.
If somebody likes to maybe overexpose or like they need that validation or they need that admiration from other people, and this can come in histrionic and narcissistic both.
Okay.
Right? So we have formed different clusters for it.
What are, let's say, the top 3 most common personality disorders that you are seeing are prevalent, or most of the population aajkal? What are the top 3 personality disorders that we are looking at?
So cluster B personality disorder is very common and very seen. It's borderline personality disorder.
Okay.
There is narcissistic personality disorder.
Okay.
And also from cluster C, OCPD.
OCPD.
Yeah.
What does it stand for?
Obsessive compulsive personality disorder.
Okay.
Right? So these are the 3 which in my personal experience I have seen a lot, and they also are diagnosed a lot.
Borderline and OCPD, can you please explain what does it mean?
So borderline personality disorder is basically manifested in the form of instability of identity, in the way of that there's a lot of unsurety, like who am I or what do I like. Because I'm so unsure, then I start seeking validation from others. So now I need validation from other people. I would become very people pleasing and I would start to, seek their love in that sense. We all can be seeking validation, but when it becomes rigid and starts defining our relationship, then that's where we call it as maladaptive or disordered level.
Got it. And what is OCPD?
OCPD is, it's frequently confused with OCD and OCPD. People usually confuse that, but they are very different from each other.
Okay.
So OCPD is in the form of, again, rigidity in the personality on the basis of orderliness. For example, if I'm keeping certain things here, it has to be here. It can't go there.
Okay.
And everyone around me has to be on edge for that. That if it's kept here, it's kept here. And it's not only about the personal objects, but how I live, what my moralities are. For example, if I'm running an organization and if somebody else is changing something, some policy or something, like it's not going to be acceptable.
Okay.
Right? So everyone around me has to be on like edge that, oh, this person likes this particular way.
Okay.
So there is perfectionism, orderliness, high morality,
Hmm.
right? So also a lot of anxiety also comes in.
Now that we've understood these terms a bit and we've understood personality disorders, I'm just going to go deeper into the process.
Yeah.
Now, tell me something. So, let's walk through the journey. Let's say if I'm a client, firstly, tell me what are the early signs? What would trigger an individual to come and decide that, okay, today I should see a therapist or today I should go and visit Shreya to get diagnosed or to even know that, okay, I have a personality disorder? What are the early signs or triggers that we are looking at?
So we do not diagnose a child of personality disorder because we say till 18 years of age, the personality is growing. It's not stabilized.
After 18?
After 18, we start diagnosing.
Perfect.
But before that, we can see signs of it, right?
Okay.
Whether it's fear of abandonment, separation, like separation anxiety can come in borderline disorders. Conduct disorders can be diagnosed in children who can later develop antisocial personality disorders.
Okay.
So these are certain signs, or these are, somebody setting fire in school,
Huh.
or somebody, cutting themselves, self-harming, or, there a lot of anger outburst is there.
Okay, so this is in children. But let's say I'm 26 years old and I'm going through certain issues. And maybe let me pick an example of fear of abandonment, because of which I don't probably stay in relationships. I get very afraid as soon as a relationship starts to get serious. Now, I come to you to book a therapy and I say that, okay, this is what I'm going through. So, what is the process, Shreya, that you will follow?
So there is a lot, like just based on certain symptoms, we are not going to diagnose because diagnosis takes ages.
Correct.
Right? There are certain assessments available, although, like have clinical judgment and the assessment together, whether it's IPDE, MMPI, all these, objective tests are available. And then we'll diagnose based on the DSM or ICD.
Break this up for us. What is DSM and what is, you also said MMPI, which I know, but I would love our viewers to know what is the MMPI test.
DSM and ICD are diagnostic criteria manual. DSM is followed mostly in America. ICD is also followed in India, which is given by WHO.
Okay.
Okay. So these are the manual we follow to diagnose people.
Okay.
So because there is so much stigma in personality disorder, we very laymanly say that, this person is narcissistic, this person is so borderline.
Yeah.
So we self-diagnose, we diagnose our friends, our family that, oh, that person is so OCD. Right? So that's why it becomes very important that you come and seek professional help.
Correct.
Because they have these objective tools available, these manuals available, these professional training available. So you come and we help you diagnose.
Yeah.
So the process is, when you come for the therapy, you mostly in personality disorder, we require an informant. But even if it's not available, it's fine, because we will need to know your early childhood experience. Like I said, personality disorder is something which is a long process. It's not something that you automatically in a second generate. That's why
immediately nahi hoga.
Exactly. Immediately nahi hoga. It's a long process of building and understanding and how you're relating to the world.
Got it.
So that's the process of diagnosing and understanding.
Okay. Got it. So the person comes in, you start the process of diagnosing. I'm sure there's talk therapy that happens. Information is gathered and the journey starts. Now, Shreya, diagnosis is done. And now let's say the process of treatment and all of those things happen. So from an outcome perspective, are we saying the person can reverse their personality disorders?
It's a very interesting question, because when we come to therapy, this is our mindset. Like we see, हम डॉक्टर के पास तब जाते हैं जब बीमारी हटानी होती है.
Correct.
But therapy works in different way. We don't mean to fix people, but fix their problems. Personality disorder is something that you are, experiencing very early in your life. So the goal of the therapy is to work around that, right? For example, if we see DBT, which is very much used with borderline.
DBT is dialectical behavioral therapies. Okay.
Yes. So it's a skill training kind of a therapy where we build skill for the person to build resilience and to build, cognitive mindset, awareness, resources for them to work around their symptoms rather than taking away it. So I just give you an example. Somebody who is an actress, a histrionic personality would help them out.
What is histrionic personality? I'm ready to ask. I also don't know.
Histrionic personality is where I like attention seeking. I like, exposing. I like exposing in the sense of emotional expression.
Okay.
Not physical, but emotional expression. So this can work in their favor, right?
Acha.
Similarly, you have seen a lot of narcissistic people are sitting in high leadership roles.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So they gain more success there. So in therapy, we are helping you to use those so-called weaknesses to work in your favor in a way.
Lovely.
To mold it to work for you.
To make them your strengths.
Change it, build resilience with it, and evolve with it.
Changing those weaknesses that I might see in my personality into strengths so that your life functioning can basically improve and you can navigate. So in a sense, what we're saying is that this is not something that you need to reverse. This is something that we navigate to make things better for us. Correct? In a way? Okay. Now, Shreya, I am calling out some statements which, I have read around here and there. When I was starting Mind Pures, I always came across them. What I need your help is tell me whether you think it's a fact or if it's a myth. And if it's either of the two, then why is it so, right? First is women go through more personality disorders than men. Do you think it's a fact? Clinically proven?
It's a myth.
But why is that myth? Why is it because more women are getting diagnosed with it?
Yes. So with cluster B personality disorder, why it's mostly diagnosed is because these people come to therapy more because they are very expressive, open, very visible. Right? But when you see cluster C or cluster A, they are not visible or they are very easy, difficult to diagnose.
Okay.
But with cluster B, whether it's bipolar, narcissistic, antisocial, histrionic, they are very overly expressive. Right? So, secondly, it's also clinician bias can come in it because people are diagnosing female for more borderline disorders. It's also said that, the manifestation of disorder is different in male and female. Right?
Yeah.
So, with male, there is more how they express their anger is more antisocial, narcissistic ways. But for female, it comes in more fear, abandonment, or self-harm, or something like that.
Got it.
So there can be difference in how we are diagnosing it.
Got it.
So it's a myth that it's more in female
than male
because they are more expressive and they are more visible. That's why it's been diagnosed more.
Got it. Shreya, second one. People say BPD. Some people say it's borderline personality disorder. Some even confuse it with bipolar. And then we say that ये तो दोनों same चीज़ हैं.
This name may sound similar, but they are way different.
Explain it to us.
So, bipolar disorder is a mood disorder.
Okay.
So, the mood shift in bipolar comes from within. Like no external factor is impacting that. Okay. So, it's like it's episodic. It like for 2 weeks I'm depressed and then 2 weeks I am manic in my manic phase or something like that.
Okay.
But in borderline personality disorder, the cue is usually external. For example, I have some relationship fight that has caused my mood swing. The external factor doesn't have to be that heightened, right? It can be a normal conversation or some normal trigger as well, but it's coming from external or outside factor. Secondly, the mood swing is mostly oriented towards aggression in borderline.
Okay.
And in bipolar, it's mostly from depressive to manic or manic to depressive.
Got it. So you're also saying bipolar is a mood disorder and borderline is a personality disorder.
Yes.
Huh.
And second thing, there's a term called egosyntonic and ego dystonic. So egosyntonic means when I have a problem in personality disorder, I'm not seeing my problem as my problem. It's everybody else's problem. Right? But with bipolar disorder, people know that there is some disturbance happening with me, like in my mood, in my life.
Okay.
So they come for that treatment. But usually when borderline personality person would come for treatment, they would come with some other issues. For example, substance issues, relationship issues, marital issues like that. Because they are not syncing with their ego or their problem.
Third statement, very similar to the earlier one. Split personality and MPD, which is I think multiple personality disorder. Are they same?
They are both irrelevant in today's
Why?
era.
Why do you say so?
They both were all like same thing. You know?
They same.
So
ठीक है.
now it's more a dissociative disorder. Multiple personality disorder was understood as that the self is fragmented into different cells. Like, for example, there can be an aggressor self, there can be a submissive self. Like in some movies, you have seen that, oh, my personality was split, and now it's going and fighting with everyone because in real life, the person was very, submissive. So it's like opposite of what I was. So rather than it being a personality issue, it's a sense of self, like dissociating from myself, right?
Okay.
So it's different from personality disorder, although split and MPD both are same thing. But now it comes in the dissociative disorder.
एक और question है. Bhool Bhulaiya movie comes to my mind. So are we saying कि Bhool Bhulaiya में that lady, she had a personality disorder which is like split personality? Is that what you're saying?
So it is a dissociative disorder जो कि हम इंडिया में बहुत ज़्यादा देखते हैं. Like you've seen in Balaji, there is a lot of possession. कि वो आत्मा आ रही है या भूत निकाल रहे हैं. So that is a different, totally different diagnosis.
So what does it mean? Dissociative means?
So dissociative means that your consciousness is splitting, or your consciousness is changing. For example, जब हम नींद में होते हैं तो हमारी कॉन्शियसनेस अलग होती है. व्हेन वी आर ड्रीमिंग हमारी कॉन्शियसनेस अलग होती है.
Got it.
सो इन डिसोसिएटिव आवर कॉन्शियसनेस इज डिफरेंट. जैसे हम भूल भुलैया या कार्तिक कॉलिक
Okay.
में देख रहे हैं कि उनका कॉन्शियसनेस शिफ्ट हो रहा है, कि वो फॉर एग्जाम्पल वो दूसरे कॉन्शियसनेस में जाग रहा है एंड देन दे आर मेकिंग द कॉल टू हिमसेल्फ.
Got it. Got it.
और इन भूल भुलैया द पर्सन इज पोजेस्ड.
Okay.
उसमें क्या हो रहा है, कॉन्शियसनेस शिफ्ट हो रही है.
Nice.
बट व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट पर्सनालिटी डिसऑर्डर, वहाँ पे कॉन्शियसनेस शिफ्ट नहीं हो रहा. इट्स जस्ट मी हु आई एम.
Now I'm getting to my fourth statement. It's more of, I think it's not more of a statement, but is it true that after marriages, because of some external factors, married couples में से one or either of them start to develop a personality disorder? And I'll tell you why. I'll just give you the background also, contextualizing it. Our percentage shows that a lot more women are getting diagnosed after marriage, and it is becoming a problem in relationships where men are coming out to say that, you know what, my wife has borderline personality disorder, and because of which our marriage is not going well. ऐसा देखा है आपने श्रेया? मतलब I am saying because I've seen it in the Mindpure's ecosystem.
इसका ऑपोजिट भी होता है. लाइक women come and say हमारे हस्बैंड को नार्सिसिस्टिक डिसऑर्डर है.
हाँ.
Like, have you heard about that?
हाँ. हाँ.
Right. So there can be different reason for that.
हाँ.
One is कि in our culture relationships are not that much formed. Like गर्लफ्रेंड बॉयफ्रेंड इतने ज़्यादा नहीं होते, सीधा शादी हो जाती है,
हाँ.
राइट? सो वो बिकॉज बॉर्डरलाइन इज अ रिलेशनल डिसऑर्डर, बिकॉज इट्स हाइटेंड इन रिलेशनशिप, सो इट्स वेरी मच ट्रू कि वो शादी के बाद ज़्यादा डायग्नोस हो रहा है,
Got it. हाँ.
बट ऐसा नहीं है कि वो शादी के बाद डेवलप हो गया।
हाँ, अभी जैसे आपने बताया.
हाँ,
हाँ.
कि इट्स समथिंग विच इज गोइंग ऑन फॉर अ लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम। सेकेंडली, अगर किसी वाइफ को अबैंडनमेंट इश्यूज है, उसके बेसिस पे हम डायग्नोस नहीं कर सकते कि इट कैन बी अटैचमेंट प्रॉब्लम, बट इट डजंट इट वुडंट बी कॉल्ड अ पर्सनालिटी डिसऑर्डर।
Okay.
लाइक आई सेड कि वो कुछ ट्रेट्स हम सब में होंगे, वो नार्सिसिज्म, अबैंडनमेंट फियर, वो हम सब में हो सकते हैं, बट टू कॉल इट डायग्नोसिस देयर नीड्स टू बी अ क्लस्टर, देयर नीड्स टू बी अ significant amount of maladaptive
Behaviors.
Hmm.
People say that the ones with personality disorders are manipulative in nature. They try to manipulate others around them. Is it true?
Hmm. It can seem that way, that we are being manipulated by them for their needs,
हाँ.
but in reality, they are the ones who are suffering because they don't know any better. Right? They have developed with that disorder. They have, learned to relate with other people that way. So that's one of the goals in therapy as well, to show them that, this is not the only way that to perceive the whole world or yourself. For example, somebody with histrionic personality disorder can come and constantly, flirt with the therapist. So rather than reinforcing that, I can show the person that, flirting is not the only way that they can get my attention.
Wow.
So it's changing their perspective.
I love this explanation and school of thought. Give me one more example. I want to be wowed more. Give me one more example.
Okay.
Previously, backstage, you were saying about married couples में कितना common है ये?
Usually we ask borderline personality disorder people that, you don't have to jump from relation to relationship, because that's very common in them, because closeness and vulnerability is something that they struggle with. कि मैं जितना close या कितना vulnerable हो रहा हूँ, that will reveal something negative about me, and then it will lead for other person to reject me. So then we try to make them understand that it's not about you who is unlovable, but it's because this fear of vulnerable, that you are the one who's pushing them away. Is it making sense?
Yeah.
Right? For example, it's my biasness that because I'm unlovable, I will choose not to be very
Vulnerable to you. Let my guards down and focus you. Yeah.
And in that sense, the relationship kind of deviates. But the person would blame it on themselves, saying, because I am unlovable, that's why this person has left
me. Got it.
So
Got it.
it's expanding the perspective that it's not the person who's being rejected, but the pattern that is leading them to, get separated in that relationship.
Got it. No, very deep and very relatable also, because around me I have seen this happening. Loved how you explained all these statements and situations. Shreya, I have one last very important question for you, which is the crux of this entire thing that we talked about, which is, how do these personality disorders get developed?
So again, it's a very interesting question and age-old question कि पहले मुर्गी आई या पहले अंडा आया कि पहले environment से हुआ या पहले genetic हुआ. So very difficult to answer. So now we take the approach of biopsychosocial perspective in a way that it's seen, for example, specifically in cluster A personality disorder, which is very similar to schizophrenia.
Okay.
So we have seen कि genetically it's more related to schizophrenia, the cluster A part.
Okay.
But in cluster B we have seen कि genetics भी हैं,
हाँ.
but as well as early childhood experiences में, for example neglect, abuse, invalidation or misfit between the parents and child in their attachment style. For example, some child can be very needy but the parent is more authoritative,
Okay.
and then there is a mismatch or vice versa,
Okay.
right? So that can lead to some issues in childhood and leading to personality disorder.
Got it.
Secondly, for example, in antisocial, we have seen कि brain development में काफी difference होता है. For example, their frontal lobe is not functioning very well in antisocial disorder.
Okay.
So that can lead to a personality disorder. So it's not just one answer. There are several reasons that can be. Like in my experience, I've seen कि mother को borderline disorder है तो बेटी में भी, या बेटी में भी borderline personality disorder.
Interesting. So you're saying it won't be genetic also, it can be developed because of the childhood circumstances
So
as
it's
well.
multiple factor, क्योंकि genetic vulnerable बना रहा है but early experience उसको strengthen कर रहा है.
Sure, that was spoken with a lot of depth, I think. Very interesting. Pretty much the questions from my side. Any last thoughts on your end when it comes to educating and growing awareness about personality disorders?
I think one more thing that is very common in clients coming for, the hesitation that they have is the discrepancy needing to change and or wanting to change and losing themselves, right? So usually I educate them that therapy can be both things. It can change and it can also evolve you. So usually there is a lot of resistance कि नहीं मेरे अंदर प्रॉब्लम नहीं है या मुझे नहीं चेंज होना, but that awareness or that understanding कि it's not about changing you but changing the part of you that is creating a problem. So I think that is an important thing that we can keep in mind while coming to therapy, because a lot of resistance comes from there, needing to change or not needing to change.
Shreya, I have been truly, I would say, mesmerized by what you shared. I think not just the calmness that you have with you, but also the way you explain. Because I have always thought that personality disorder is a very complex ecosystem with a lot of overlaps. And like you said in the beginning, that we use the term so loosely.
Yeah.
And without knowing what it means in exchange, right? So thank you for doing this. To all our viewers, if you want further explanations or if there is anything that you would like to understand more on personality disorders, or people around yourself who are struggling with it, comment away. We're more than happy to have Shreya back again to do this with us. Thank you so much, Shreya. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching and being part of Beyond the Couch.